I think it shows that Ukrainian military, civilian intelligence, that their actions are actually quite effective. If they really want to get their work done, they can do that. So special operations and all the others. So I think it's good news.
Hello, this is Victoria Derbyshire in the Ukrainecast studio.
And this is Vitaly Shevchenko, also in the Ukrainecast studio.
And let's introduce you to the defence editor at The Economist, Shashank Joshi. Welcome back, Shashank.
Great to be back on. Thank you for having me.
And also joining us is Baiba Braze, Latvia's foreign minister. Welcome to Ukrainecast.
Thank you so much. Hello there.
We're going to start, if we may, with a question from one of our listeners.
Hi, Ukrainecast. This is Sally from Yorkshire. I've just read about the assassination of Igor Kirillov, and I'm worried that this could be the spark that really escalates the war, not just inside Ukraine, but outside also. I would welcome your thoughts. Thank you.
So, Shashank, can I go to you first? Do you think this is going to change the dynamic of this war?
No. It's not the first high-level assassination that Ukraine's conducted inside Russia. It won't be the last. And I think it's just critically important to correct one thing, which is that many people are reporting this as being the death of the Russian nuclear defense chief. That is not correct. The person who died, General Igor Kirillov, was the chief of Russia's radiation, chemical, biological protection troops. That sounds a bit of a mouthful. It sounds very scary. Essentially, it is dealing with things like how do you operate on a battlefield where chemical weapons have been used or where there's radiation. He had no control over nuclear weapons. That may be why some people feel a little bit jittery, a little bit nervous, but he had no control or custody of nuclear forces. I've just got to make that completely clear, I hope.
And that didn't really stop him from using chemical weapons against Ukraine, according to Ukraine, the United States, and the UK at least?
Yes, he was under sanctions by the UK and others for his role in the use of chemical weapons inside Ukraine. Ukraine says these chemical weapons have been used on many, many occasions. These are pretty low-level chemical agents. They're not things like sort of Novichok of the kind, the nerve agent that was used in Salisbury. But nonetheless, they are banned under the Chemical Weapons Convention. Kirillov is seen to have played a role in doing that, and you can see why he would have been seen as a high-level target for the Ukrainians.
And Foreign Minister, what's your response to this news?
I think it shows that Ukrainian military, civilian intelligence, that their actions are actually quite effective. If they really want to get their work done, they can do that. So special operations and all the others. So I think it's good news.
Foreign Minister Braze, let's talk about the diplomatic implications and repercussions, if you like.
Sure.
There's a lot of talk about talks between Russia and Ukraine. Do you think this killing, this assassination, will it make it more complicated, or will it make them happen more quicker, sooner?
As discussed, it's not like Ukraine has taken responsibility for it. That's the sources that suggest that. So that's sort of without outright sort of involvement. I don't think we can connect anything to anyone. So I don't relate it to the talks or anything directly. We know that there are contacts via third countries with regard to freeing the prisoners of war who are in horrible conditions in Russia, being tortured and abused and all the worst things possible. So Ukraine is very interested to get them out. So via third countries, they are succeeding in certain cases. Turkey and a few others have played a role. The stolen children have been freed. So there are some via contacts that result in certain outcomes. So about the peace talks, I think it's much more serious because we don't see any indication that Russia is serious about anything to do with peace. I think it's quite opposite. All the indicators with regard both to the financing of the war, or the concentration of political, military, and all the other resources towards the war. If we want peace, Russia has to be forced to have peace, and that means arming Ukraine and making sure that Ukraine is in the best possible situation on the battlefield. And then maybe they can succeed, or whoever wants to sort of force Russia to have peace talks. Maybe that's possible. For now, we are not seeing any of that.
Foreign Minister, you described it in your first answer as good news. Can you explain why you say that?
I think if indeed Ukraine was behind it, it shows that they are able both to target certain objects, military targets, legitimate military targets. They are able to access and they are able to implement, which is a sort of deterrence in a way, but also, as Shashank rightly said, that it also shows the fact that key people, even in Russia, can be eliminated. But again, that is something a source says this or that. We can assume, but there is no proof that Ukraine is behind it.